Hello, everybody. This is Caesar with the Battle Rhythm Podcast. I have a very special guest today from Spirit Song Youth Equestrian Song. I have the one and the only Mr. Joe. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. Nice to be available today to talk with you.
It's a very actually it was a very nice day, wasn't it? I didn't think it was going to be like this today.
Yeah, it was. It was a very, very lovely day today.
So I just so when you guys first approached me in regards to what you guys wanted to do with your organization, I was curious as to what you guys' organization was about. So tell me a little bit about it. When did you guys start the organization?
Well, we actually got started in working with mental type issues, mental health issues back in
Uh-huh.
the late 1990s. But we actually created the Spirit Song logo and Spirit Song Ranch in the mid 2015-16 timeframe. So we've been in existence as an organization over 10 years.
Okay. And when you started the with the mental health, was it all encompassed to couples? Was it with veterans only? Was it with children, or was it what did you actually specialized in?
Well, interestingly, when you first introduced me, part of the Spirit Song company is Spirit Song Youth Equestrian Academy. And that was really our first venue. We realized that with families, including youth, there was some tremendous issues with regard to building trust and relationships within families. Much of it spawned by youth in today's world. Obviously,
Hmm.
they spend most of their time on social media and very little interaction within families or other units. And that's a problem. And we're seeing it really degrade over time, especially since COVID, where families were forced to stay together more than they wanted to. And they really spent more time interacting on social media than they did with each other. So there's
Right.
a real situation there to work with families and youth. So that's where it started.
So how does your therapy work? Because apparently, I've read some studies and through a lot of the VA stuff that I usually get is that equestrian therapy usually has some type of um I would say like some type of relaxation method and also like coping skills and things like that. How do you incorporate that to now the youth and or even as veterans, right? Because veterans a lot of times we suffer from a lot of different mental health issues, especially like combat PTSD and other things that we sometimes we aren't able to readapt to the everyday world or everyday situation. So how
Yeah.
does your organization and your therapy help? Uh, it, how is it based on that stuff?
Interesting question. There are two aspects to therapy. We
Hmm.
kind of use that as a global term. There are therapy aspects that really do involve what I would call the counseling type mental health. That is not what we do. We provide a coaching type aspect where we believe that the individual who is, whether it's a veteran, a youth, a family member, an organization, a team, even church staff, uh, everyone wants to do what is right and they want to achieve what is best, but they somehow just can't quite get a grasp on how to achieve that. And so we believe that within each individual, they really do have some capability to understand what the solutions are, but they're really a little bit fearful about putting in place that which they don't know. And
Hmm.
so there's always a hesitation and a holding back. And so the reason that we use the coaching method is that what I have found, whether it is a veteran it's undergoing PTS type issues, whether it is a young youth or an adult that's going through ADHD, somewhere on the Asperger's, dyslexia, dyspraxia, bullying, lack of self confidence, just all of these kinds of things that we're plagued with. There is one common denominator, and that is the person, no matter who they are, operate just like they're being preyed upon.
Okay.
And so the reason that we use the horses is the horse is a prey animal. The horse instinctively responds based upon prey behavior. And in other words, since they're instinctively looking for, is there someone out there that's preying upon me? And
Hmm.
do I need to protect myself? This is exactly what happens with a veteran undergoing PTS. And so
Interesting.
the horse intrinsically picks up on that prey behavior within the individual. And my team are certified to and trained to look at the behavior shifts in the horse that then indicates to us what is going on in the individual.
Hmm.
And it's a whole different way of looking at being able to help someone. And what we do is we take what that individual does typically in the way they cope, because they all know how to do something to cope with it,
Right.
whether it's avoidance, running away, getting angry, whatever. They know how to cope with it, but that coping mechanism may not be a good life skill, and it may not promote good social interaction. So what we do is we take the person for who they are as they show up without any predilection to anything as to what they've done in the past. And we just say, the way you show up, we're going to work with you, and we're going to show you ways in which you can take your coping skills and turn them into life skills that promote success.
Okay, I see. That's interesting. I I've read that you know, a lot of veterans actually, do cope a little bit better with an animal. A lot of us actually have service dogs that help us with PTSD, also like emotional type of therapy, emotional type of dog. I didn't realize that a horse is actually even that type of that could do that type of therapy as well. And I mean therapy just because it could be a type of emotional therapy, and also could be a type of, like I
Right.
said, a coping mechanism. And for me, therapy is anything that has to do, or the way at least I perceive it, is that a therapy is something that I'm trying to cope with and or trying to learn. Apply the things that I've learned from different areas of study, or different therapies that I've gone through before. Then it's all these little things that you have on your bucket list, and I didn't realize that a horse was actually able to actually help in that sense. So it's interesting to me. It's very nice. I'm glad that you actually came on and actually explained that to us, and because a lot of people don't know, and this is what I feel that my podcast is about. That actually trying to get different things, different ways for people to actually even know. And like I said, it's not just like you said, it's not just for veterans itself, but you do help a lot of different people, veterans, youth, and even couples, right? As you said. So
Right.
my next question for you is, how can how are your classes structured? Are they structured individually? Are they structured in a group? Or are they private lessons? Or how does that work?
Yes to all of the above. We uh,
Okay.
we first start with the individual,
Uh-huh.
and that could be an individual veteran that has some particular concerns that they're dealing with, whether it's family related or work related, or just being able to forgive themselves for what they're having to deal with. That to me is the starting place, because once a veteran learns how to forgive themselves, it's amazing how they just take off and run with how to now deal with life in a different way. So we work with the individual, but we also find that the individual sometimes, for instance, let's say they're married, that individual, even if they gain an insight as to who they are and how they can change, they
Uh-huh.
then have to go back into the exact same family and work environment that they've always been in, and they find that that work environment or the family environment doesn't trust them. And so here they have this great new skill. They have this great self appreciation, acceptance of who they are. And they go back into the same environment, and it just almost can make it worse because they're not
Right.
accepted for who they've changed to be. So
Right.
we then gravitate to working not with the individual, but working with the family or the organization team as a whole. And that
Mhm.
way, we helped them to assist the change in the environment that they live in, as well as the change within themselves.
Oh, that's great. That's good to know. So, how can a person be referred to you? Do they do it individually? Do they have to be referred? A lot of times when we as veterans go through a group or we have individual therapy, then that therapist will say, okay, well, I think you need to go to this group therapy. This is what I'm recommending for you, and it has to go through a whole verification process and also like a request process and everything. So does an individual have to go through the VA or to their insurance company to do this, or can they actually just directly go to you and say, I would like to get some information as to how I can become part of or take some of these classes from you?
Yeah, very good question. And of course, this will be a central question that any individual veteran is going to ask.
Okay.
Certainly, to the extent that they can operate and work this through a mental health psychologist or psychiatrist or someone that they're working with, or through the VA itself, that certainly helps them in the funding aspect. And so that's certainly a preeminent way to start. Um,
Right.
but they can be referred through the local VFW, the American Legion, their local churches. There are a number of different ways that they can do that. But
Okay.
if we can add value to what they are already doing, if they are under
Right.
some type of therapy, then I think adding value to that rather than duplicating is better. But if
Right.
they want to contact me directly, that's perfectly fine too. We can accept that, and then we can maybe help them direct to how best to approach this.
Right. And there are other ways to actually even helping, right? Because a lot of times, actually even being a volunteer will be a way to cope as well. Correct.
Oh, yeah. And we certainly will definitely consider volunteers that would come out because, as you rightly said earlier, just being out at the ranch and being out in the presence of horses that are calm, the area where you can actually sit and just be in the midst of the horses, listening to the birds and the other animals, and just listening to the wind. And there's
Right.
a calming effect that takes place. And so, yes, volunteers, or if they want to actually do some therapy type sessions, we can handle both.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share with everybody your website. That way they can see where we're actually talking about and where they can actually go to uh, apply to be a volunteer or even to become to come over to help out and things like that. So I can actually do so. As I mentioned before, this is like you do offer youth development and then couples enrichment, even family enrichment. So it's not just for individuals, right? So it's even for a family. So that's actually kind of
That is
cool.
correct.
Um, all right. So this is just how many people do you have on staff that are currently are able to teach classes for you?
We have 5 permanent staff members that are certified in this type of therapeutic work.
Uh huh.
And we're certified to work with families, youth, adults, organizations, all of the above.
Okay. And then, are they each of them are specialized in just one area, or are they all able to actually teach in different or every area of that you have, like couples and individual?
You know, it's interesting because typically you have specialties that you are working with, and we do.
Right.
For instance, one of the staff members is a licensed social worker. In addition to her, we have another one that has her master's in family type operations. Um, but all of us are certified in terms of applying the equine behavioral skills to the
Mm.
individuals or the organizations. Just as a note, I just stepped away from the last 6 years running the international organization that certified practitioners on how to do this,
Oh wow.
and
Okay.
just finished that and turned the reins over to let another team continue it, so I can focus all of my attention back here in Anna, Texas, at our ranch, and we're just looking forward to making that all happen. But there's the way in which we approach this to coach is common, regardless of whether we work with teams or individuals.
Right. No,
So all of
that's
my
awesome.
people are
And
skilled to do that.
right. And most of the people are all local, right? All in Anna or McKinney or area, that area, right?
Yes, the ranch itself is located in Collin County, just about 3, 4 miles west of Anna, Texas,
Uh-huh.
in Collin County. But my practitioners not only live here in the Anna area, two of us, my wife and I, but one lives down in Parker, in Plano, Texas area. Another lives up in Sherman. Another one lives in Van Alstyne. So we're all in this local area.
That's awesome. The fact that it's a local nonprofit and you guys are, within here, and that's just awesome. And the fact that you saw me, one of your volunteers reach out to me to actually get some publicity for you guys. I mean, I could do whatever I can do for you guys. That's awesome. And I'm glad you guys reached out to me because I feel that my little voice that I have around here, it helps out not only a veteran or not, or a family in need. This is not just for veterans. This is for families altogether because everybody needs some type of, um, you know, um, I hate saying the word therapy again, but it really just is like more like a comforting therapy. It's a place to be where it could be a positive a place, a positive area to be at. And what else could you possibly be better with than horses? I mean, I love riding horses and going around and doing whatever else, but um it's awesome. It's the fact that it's local and you guys are willing to and able to provide those type of services to a lot of different people. It's just it's awesome. I love the fact that you guys are here. So thank you so much for that.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. Each one of us can only do so much, but collectively we can do so much more. And
Uh-huh.
getting this word out as you are doing, I think is a great thing, and you're promoting the success of many organizations as a result of the work you do, and I so appreciate that.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So, you want to tell us a little bit about where people can reach you at? I'm going to pull up the website one more time, and then that way they can see where you can be reached and where they can go ahead and either also donate. Right, you're also take donations because everybody, not being a nonprofit, I definitely do understand that you live off a lot of donations. Not everybody, not everybody can just provide these services without actually having people that actually, you know, help out with that.
But it's the type
So
of
where can
thing
they
that
contact you?
we so much believe in it that we will do it whether we get donations or not. But donations are very helpful, and they can help sponsor individuals, and that will allow us to reach even more. Uh,
Right.
the contact information is there. You can send an email. There's also a phone number that you can contact us at that's located at that website. It's
Yep.
SSYEA.org, Spirit Song Youth Equestrian Academy. And from that site, you also can click on Facebook. And we have a site on Facebook, which we're welcome to follow. But the contact information is there, both phone and
Right.
email.
And there's some pictures of your staff and everybody. So yeah, I was kind of going through it earlier. So this is awesome, Joe. I really, I'm so glad that you guys reached out to me. I hope that we're able to reach some people through this and stuff like that. Is there anything else that you would like us to know? You like the public to know that about your organization before I let you go?
Not anything in particular. We are open uh, because of a covered arena. We can work whether it's rain or shine,
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
we do have our main staff of 22 horses. They're the real guts of our operation. And
Right.
between horses and ponies and minis and a donkey, we think we have enough to assist anyone, no matter what issues they're dealing with.
Right, and I'm gonna have your website on the comments once I get everything ready now, and I'll send out the link for you, and I'll have that website on the comments for that way people can actually go ahead directly to the website, either sign up to be a volunteer, sign up to donate, and even start reaching out to themselves or themselves to you guys so they can actually get this help because I think again it's a very important thing that people can find some type of help for self-care and even for the mental state, being around different animals, being just uh, I had a commander one time tell me, he's like, doing labor, hand labor work will always humble you and always make you grounded. And I was like, my dad used to tell me that, Chief, and I hated doing yard work when I was 12, and nowadays it doesn't pay off because I still pay somebody to do my yard work. But but being able to actually do just give back and volunteering, giving yourself back to somebody else and the benefit of other people. That's what for me. That's what the volunteering is, and that's what being able to give back in a way that's always humbling to me. And that's just why I like volunteering. So I hope that with this, a lot of people are able to come out and volunteer. Even if it's for 3 hours, just helping out with the horses and whatnot. Hey, 3 hours is 3 hours that you didn't have before. So another volunteer. So, Joe, so thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this will be the very first of many times that you come on this show. I consider you now a friend of the show, so thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for reaching out and having me be some type of voice for you, so you guys can get some type of recognition in order for you guys to grow and actually hope to get more people to come to your ranch. So thank you.
I appreciate very, very much, and you are certainly personally invited to come and join with us anytime to take a look at what we do.
Definitely will take you up on that. It'll probably be somewhere around when it's a lot more cooler, because right now it's getting hot, and the summertime is calling, right?
That's
But
right.
it will be very soon, I would hope. All right,
well,
sir. Well,
thanks
thank you so
again.
much for
Thank
joining
you.
the. You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. I will just stand by right after we sign off here. Thank you so much for coming on again. If you guys are looking into going into the ranch, they are located in Anna, Texas. They are in 805 Spirit Song Way, and then the phone number is 972-421-4412. If you have any questions, you can always go to their website, SSYEA.org. All right. Once again, this is Caesar with the Battle Rhythm Podcast. My guest today was Joe McAlexander. So I apologize for that. I'm trying to read 10,000 things at once, and I am going 10,000 miles an hour, and I can only do one at a time. So, Joe, thank you so much for joining me. Once again, this is Caesar with the Battle Podcast. I will see you guys very, very soon.